be tripping up, cause she look good for nothing. That's how I know she good for nothing. All my bitches did me dirty. You can't tell by how I move, cause I can't let it hurt me. I'm too play a dog, that's why I play them all. That's how I play it all, that's why I play with y'all. I'm no savior, no cape here, but I still feel like I need you to need me, to need you, can't leave you alone. Know that that's wrong. Oh, why? All my bitches so imperfect, can't tell by how she look, and that's why I be on it. Can't fall in love with her, but I be tripping up, cause she look good for nothing. That's how I know she good for nothing. Falling in love and having regrets. It ain't about the sex, it's more about the stress. Or more like the stress, it's more like to death. Is your life the worst because we ever met? Or never was meant, forever could guess. You know don't nobody fuck you like me. Even when you with him, you know when I'm that. You say you ain't thinking about me, then why you respond to this text? I'm toxic as toxic can get. And you know if it's one thing that I do the best is play with your head. That's why all my bitches so imperfect, can't tell by how she look, and that's why I be on it. Can't fall in love with her, but I be tripping up, cause she look good for nothing. That's how I know she good for nothing. All my bitches so imperfect, can't tell by how she look, and that's why I be on it. Can't fall in love with her, but I be tripping up, cause she look good for nothing. That's how I know she good for nothing. Ooh yeah, yeah. I think I sing it again. Place these problems in the cup better than feeling the pain. Put a finger by my lips, don't want it nothing today. I put another on the star, I had to touch it, okay? It's hot, I know, but the world's so cold tonight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going. Deal with my demons and money, the root of all evil, that tree where I find shade. Back when I needed a way to break myself, rob my peace to find my sane. Quit my job so I get paid what I deserve per hour. And not even have to working out, cause hours, work for hours, been a mogul since Fogo was a place we planned to go. When we got this and now that we got that, realize what it is to have a vision, limited to where your vision is. That's why I keep my head high, eyes facing the infinite, isn't it? Ironic they say stay 10 toes, but I always wonder what it feel like to fly. If they say they didn't, it's a lie. If it wasn't, that's why I had to keep on, keeping on. Gotta keep moving this way. Ain't no way I'm losing this race. Putting every chip on the table.
Yo. Okay, there we go. I didn't have the levels up. Excuse me, but we are back. This is the Weekend Takeover coming to you live from Windy City Underground. It's your host, Lero De Niro. As you can see, I don't got my full cast with me today, man. But shouts out to everybody. Iconic Taj, my boy Talk the G, and my boy Fee Baby. They couldn't be here with us today. But they here in spirit. We're gonna keep it going, man. We're gonna keep it going. As y'all can see, we got a guest in for today who's gonna be kicking it with me throughout the show by the name of the Kid Ghost. This guy is an artist. He's a business mogul, if you will. The man got a lot of different things that he got going on up under his sleeve outside of the music realm. But we're gonna get further into that, during the interview. But I just want to say, man, how you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm feeling great. Wonderful to be here. You know what I'm saying? Just grateful to finally be back. In these streets. Making this music move and doing what I do best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what's up. Well, we definitely gonna get all the tea, about your music and what you got going on, man. Um, but first, we gonna try to and go through these topics, man. You know, it's been this past week. It's been a lot of stuff
A
going on.
ton.
What's up, Janaya? That's Janaya from Blue. Excuse me, Blue. I always say this wrong. It's Blue Babes? Excuse me. I used to say Blue Babies, but it's Blue Babes, and that's Janaya Ha. She just commented. Anybody listening, y'all need to check out her show on this platform, Windy City Underground, as well. It's definitely decent, and she definitely be having some babes on the show.
Oh,
If you
for
know
sure.
what I
need
mean.
to get on that too.
She definitely be having them on here. The other day she had her show going, and she had two young ladies on the show with her. And I just kept peeping, peeping through the window, like, okay, who is that?
Hey, if you want to do an interview, you know what I'm saying. I'm more than willing to come on your show too, for sure.
Oh, we gonna set it up. Janaya, you hear him? We gonna set it up. He want to come on your show too, so we gotta get that
Definitely
going.
gotta hang out with the babes.
Yes, sir. She say we definitely. Let me pin that one. She talk about we definitely got the babes.
That's where I need to be, for sure.
Yes, sir. But if y'all been tuning in, if you ain't been living under no rock, man, y'all probably heard some of the crazy stuff that's going on, man. We got um, we got changes in the NFL. They done changed rules and kickoff
Hey,
standards and stuff.
I'm rocking with the kickoff, man.
You is?
I'm rocking with it, man.
Why you think it'll be better?
I feel like it gives. I got tired of seeing kickoffs just go out the back of the end zone all game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we grew up, especially being in Chicago, Devin Hester was here.
Right.
So we was watching him, you know what I'm saying, run that ball back and shake and spin and
Right.
reverse field and all of that. And now it's gotten to a point where we don't get to see those moments as much. And I think adjusting the kickoff and making that change is going to cause a lot of people to try to, you know, it'll be a skewed record if somebody break what Devin Hester has done or you know, touch what Prime was doing or something like that.
Right.
But at the same time, I at least want to see people out here making those moves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all for changing some of the sports that we've been so accustomed to being the same way for so long.
To me, it grows the sport.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because it's like for instance with basketball, um, and people don't know I'm a big I don't watch basketball like I used to, but I'm a big basketball fan. But with basketball back in the day, they didn't even have 3-point lines.
You know what I'm saying?
You feel me? So it's like
Steph Curry is who? If
we didn't have no 3-point line, where was all these Steph Currys and these Ray Allens and these, you know, where would all these people be? You know, where would we be without that in the game?
For sure.
If you want to even just look at how Michael Jordan changed the shorts rule and all that stuff, you know, they'll still be wearing Daisy Dukes.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
Jordan
so
was like, nah. And then even when they brought that back a little bit, because you had Ben Wallace and them out there with shorts all the way to their ankles.
Yeah.
So then they was looking crazy, and Jordan and them was looking crazy, and they found that perfect blend of like, okay. So yeah, rule changes make the sport, make everything, you know, get a little bit better. Sometimes you need those changes to
She
move.
say 100. It was a different game. That's Janaya.
For sure. That's my boy Jawan. What's the word, brother?
Well,
right there, Bay Alexander.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to you, to Jawan, for tuning in, man. Make sure you like and share this. If you're tuning into this right now, make sure you like and share, so that we can get our viewers up and, you know, just get more people, you know, watching and tuning in.
Sure.
But yeah, man. So again, back to the topics. You know, we just was talking about the different changes in sports. Which is a good thing, you know, it's not a bad thing.
For sure.
But also, if you've been paying attention to entertainment, you know that P.Diddy is in high water right now. So my man P.Diddy, and it's crazy because we always say this on the Weekend Takeover, and it can't be no truer. So we have a podcast, or I have a podcast with Fee and Iconic Taj, and one of our very first episodes, man. How can I say this? One of our very first episodes, Taj had brought up the fact that there's a lot of rumors and a lot of people on the blog post, conspiracy theorists and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying and they were talking about how P. Diddy got all this stuff going on and how he's about to go down, but this was before it happened.
Right.
And then it happened, bro.
Shout out to Todd for seeing into the future
You
on that
feel
one.
me? Shout
I
out
think
to
I was here that day.
when on the podcast.
Yeah.
Uh, we did it in one of the rooms. It wasn't in here. We recorded that in one of the other studios. It wasn't in this big studio.
So I must have been here another
You-
time. Oh, you know what? Boss Lady was in here with y'all, and we was all talking about
okay.
the whole Diddy thing. That's
Yeah.
how that happened.
But yeah, man. She
That was when
definitely-
Cassie had said what she said
Yeah,
about him blowing up Kid Cudi car.
Yep.
That's why I'm treading lightly on the conversation. Look, I ain't trying to get my car
I'm treading
blown up.
lightly too, brother. I am treading lightly too. I'm treading lightly for sure, but I still got to put the information.
For
out
sure,
there.
for sure.
You know what I mean? It's all over the news. It's a federal investigation with, Sean Diddy Combs. He's the subject of that investigation involving allegations related to sex trafficking, sexual assault, legal narcotics, firearms, and the list goes on. You know what I mean? That's a lot.
Real Rico-ish to me.
Yeah. You know what? Somebody had told me last night. I was talking to one of my homies, and they were saying how, you know who the biggest informant on this whole thing is? I don't know if this is true, but this is what he was saying.
To take a guess, I would say probably like either his security guard or like Faith Evans or something.
Man, they trying to. My man's was trying to tell me that it's R. Kelly. And if it kind of add up, because if you think about it, who is the only person that was bigger than Jay-Z and P.Diddy?
At a point in time,
It was R. Kelly.
Then they started,
And they say Jay-Z and P.Diddy put the motion out there
to get him out
to
the
get
way.
R. Kelly out the way.
And now he like, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead. I got something for y'all. Reduce this sentence if I go ahead and say what I got to say.
Exactly. So, man, I mean, I just want to see how it play out.
Yeah.
They lock him up. Let P. Diddy go in the I'm about to cuss. Excuse me. They mess around and lock P. Diddy up with R. Kelly. R. Kelly might put the hands on.
Yeah. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you though. My man Jawan made a valid point. He said Apple. You know what I'm saying? Apple probably got something to do with it. And I think with that move, I've seen a lot of people talking more about Diddy since Revolt has became what it became.
Right.
Because you gotta remember that used to just be a little channel like on YouTube, and now it's a whole network with all of the biggest things as far as our culture is concerned is ran through Revolt. You got Drink Champs. You got I think Wildin' Out even was on Revolt for a little minute, if it's not still there. At one point in time when he was having beef with MTV, when Nick Cannon was having beef with MTV,
Right.
Revolt picked that right up when he had made the statements about that were considered anti-Semitic at a point in time. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if this is not, a major industry play to get somebody out the way that is potentially looked at as an issue or a nuisance. I think everybody got a reason to hate Diddy. So,
To some extent, I'm gonna agree with that. But it's just crazy, man. Like, you would never, growing up, you never would have thought this would be going on with all of our black entertainers.
I mean, I don't see why not. Because we made a shift from the Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's of the world to entertainers kind of taking that responsibility on as being the person or the people that we expected to be our voice moving forward as far as change and things like that. I mean, think about it. When Obama had all those rappers come to the White House to have a conversation about political reform and things of that nature, like at this point the music industry is where our representation holds the most weight. That's where we tell our stories. That's where we come together as a collective. So I could see somebody like Diddy being looked at as a threat. I mean, we all seen, or most of us saw Judas and the Black Messiah, so we know it's a greater entity involved when people get to doing certain things and making certain moves happen. You looked at as a threat versus an ally. So you gotta you gotta be careful.
You definitely got to be careful. And I was telling somebody yesterday I had seen an interview that I've never seen. It was Diddy interviewing Lil Wayne when Lil Wayne was like in that whole fireman
Mm-hmm.
first
I just
Carter
saw that
stage.
yesterday too.
So you heard what Lil
Yeah.
Wayne said.
Yeah.
The man,
Right.
what he said, Diddy was asking him, "Oh, dude, if you could give a word to the young artist that's trying to come up and reach your level of success, what would you tell them or something like that,
Yep.
right?" And Wayne looked at him. He did just
Right.
like how me and you sit there.
Basically was like, don't go to Diddy parties.
Exactly. He like don't get what he say? Don't be doing business um with these something promoters that be diddying around.
You're right. Diddy bopping around or
Yeah,
something
Diddy
like
bopping
that.
around, dancing all in the videos. He
He
pulled the
basically
Suge
said,
Knight.
yeah,
And P Diddy just looking at him like he didn't know what to say to him. Like it wasn't no coming back from that. But
yeah.
it's crazy that all this stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. It's crazy that all of this stuff is coming out. Like we never seen that interview. Where was that interview at?
And that's where it felt weird for me because I'm like, all of this stuff has clearly been brushed under the rug
Yeah.
for so long that they have a bunch of stuff to come out with. Like it was a Mace video too, where like this is right after he left Bad Boy, and they was basically asking him like, why would you leave? Like you was at the top of the rap game. Why would you leave? And he was pretty much like, I'm sure y'all will find out eventually what I was getting away from. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a very I think it's a lot more left to come out. If
Oh
I'm being
man,
honest.
it's gonna come out too. What they say, the as hit the fan.
Yeah, and he ain't the only one about to go down. There's a lot of people that's finna end up in a spicy situation based on what's going on, not only with him but the people around him. This giving Epstein vibes. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear that Diddy was found, overdosed on pills or something in the next few weeks because they gonna try to. Hey, look, man, this man. They already told you he had secret cameras and all kinds of stuff all in his crib. So you can only imagine if everybody in the industry was going to these parties, and now they saying this is what happens at these parties. How many people have something to lose just off the information he has secretly about these people that can leak, and then your career done too. So
It's like because with this whole Diddy investigation, and they did the Quiet on Set documentary, and they did the Freaknik documentary. Don't fall in these lines, but just to see how crazy the world was and can be, it's just like, why is all this stuff coming out now? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's just crazy to me, But moving along,
for sure.
and also in entertainment news, man, everybody been talking about this whole Kendrick Lamar verse dissing Drake and J. Cole there, man. What? Let me ask you before I get started with details and stuff like that. What are your views on that?
Hip hop is a competition, and for a long time it wasn't treated like that. Um, it used to matter to want to be the greatest rapper alive,
Right.
or to feel like you was the greatest rapper alive, or to argue like, you know what I'm saying. You might be the hottest, but I'm the greatest, or I'm the best lyricist, or whatever. And then it got to a point where I felt like it was too much camaraderie, like everybody trying to kick it and link up and let's go on tour together, let's do this, let's do that. And then for me, it just became a situation where I was like, I'm happy to see we back at it. You know what I'm saying? Like we rapping. It's rap. Like, oh, you listen to a Rakim verse, he telling you 100 times why he the better. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's about him. This is a bar about my skills alone. Then I'm gonna take you here and tell you about the goal. Like,
music has changed from that time frame with
for sure.
with the KRS Ones and all the Big Daddy Kanes and all those guys. It has changed because back then you really had to be lyrical. You really had to be.
Yeah.
You had to be a cold with the pen, if you will. You know what I mean? You had to have a lyrical skill that can't be matched or can't be touched. You know what I mean? But with now, we got the social media and we got music easily to be produced and dropped and released and consumed by the masses. It,
Oversaturation.
yeah, it's an oversaturation, and there's no one, or no entity or no group of people that can like weed out the good and the bad. You know,
For
back in the
sure.
day, you take your mixtape to one of the local record labels in your city or
Yeah,
wherever you
they.
at, and they send it to the guy that's sitting in that little office playing all the music,
Yeah.
and he picking out what's
Right.
raw and
This
what's
it.
not.
This, yeah. I mean, the the grand scope of everything is just because of the oversaturation, and then what they try to push out of that, like, and by they, the powers that be, like, it's a reason you only hear certain type of songs on the radio. It's a reason that the radio has it doesn't hold as much weight as it used to, and that's why, because
Let
we
me
know we can find what we really looking for now.
exactly now. Let me ask you this: do you think it's more so because back in the day the East Coast West Coast
Mm-hmm.
was promoted by the stations and the blogs
For
and the
sure.
magazines, and the press and all that. But today, do you think it's more so the fans that's coming up and creating these beefs, or is it the artists themselves? Because it's not. We know it's not the
Yeah.
posts and the blogs and stuff.
Right.
It's more so either the fans and somewhat to do with the posting blogs, but it's more so the fans because they take and make their own posts
Yeah.
and they make their own
For
blogs
sure.
and tell their own meanings to it. So,
I think it's a double-edged sword. I
mm,
feel like the reality of the situation is I might like if I hop on the track right now and let's just say I got a homie, we didn't fell out, you know what I'm saying, and I just say a bar about homies being fake,
mm,
then you know Tim Jones on Twitter take it and he like, man, y'all ain't even peep. He dropped that bar. He talking about so and so. Then Shade Room take dude tweet and post it like fans think this is in response to you know uh
such and
troubles,
such and such. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, going on within the camp or whatever the camp is, you know what I'm saying? And then now that was on Shade Room and then Charlemagne take it. So it's just one of those situations where it's like everybody play their role in making this what it is, but everybody ain't necessarily valid in doing so.
Mm.
But that was definitely shots that Kendrick threw. Those were shots, and those were shots that J. Cole threw, and then Drake been throwing shots. So I'm just glad to see, you know what I'm saying, fools out here rapping again. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. So they were saying, of course, the verse in um uh what's the song with Future that Kendrick got
Like that.
like that. So the verse from like that is what's sparking all the attention. But people are going back into the songs and they looking at other songs. They looking at other songs. They looking at other songs. Sorry about that. That was Willie the Grand Man, another person who has a show on our station, Windy City Underground, kicking it with
Shout
Grand
out
Man.
Willie, man.
If y'all ain't checked that out, y'all gotta go check that out. What you over here talking about, Janaya? She say I agree because I didn't know he was so called dissing until social media said something. See, back to my point.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we all know that the like that verse is what triggered it, but they trying to say what is it? The control verse. Uh, uh, the feud between Kendrick Lamar and Drake began in 2013 when Kendrick dropped his verse on Big Sean's track "Control," um, and then they was trying to say how who was it? Kendrick.
By the way, Big Sean is involved in this too, and I don't want to let it fly under the radar. Like the same day that Kendrick first dropped, Big Sean dropped a freestyle on his Instagram, and in that
I
freestyle,
never heard that.
Big Sean definitely he made a clear reference to the Big Three situation too. So don't tweet like everybody rapping right now, and I love it.
On the first person shooter.
He it was a freestyle he just did like
Well, no, I'm asking what beat was it on?
it's his own.
Oh,
It's some brand new stuff. I
okay.
think it was probably a Hit Boy beat. It sounded very Hit Boy esque, but he he snapped and he responded too. Like ain't no Big Three type same type of bars. Like you know what I'm saying.
But I mean, if you ask me, what's the big three in rap right now? I'm gonna say Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. Like a lot of
For sure.
people agree with that. Being the top three of the rappers right now.
For sure.
So it is.
I I I beg to disagree. I think Future is arguing you could argue he deserved top 3 status, just because of overall body of work and the consistency in which he puts it out. No one is more consistent than Future with doing it, or at least was for a long time. Like Kendrick was going 3-4 years between projects, 5 years between the last one. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different when Future coming out every summer. He tearing the summer up. You know what I'm saying? He just like that was on a Future verse. Like I think Future really in that conversation. I feel like Drake is it's 5 or 6 people that's in there, and I don't think you wrong for whoever you put in the top 3. It's just your preference.
Yeah, yeah. In the like that he Kendrick had referenced the legendary rival between Michael Jackson and Prince.
For sure.
That was
my
cold.
favorite bar. You know what I'm saying?
That was cold. He had said
Prince outlived
Mike Jack. Like you only a legend if you still making stuff type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once you dead, it's over with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope that's not a reference to somebody about to get
Right.
off, but
yeah, that was. Hey, it was. I'm with it all. I love music when it's competitive. Well, rap when it's competitive.
Right.
I feel like it's a sport. That's where it started. You know what I'm saying? Me and my DJ finna pull up to this party, and you and your DJ gonna be there. He gonna spin. I'm gonna rap. Who can move the crowd the best? That's why it's called MCing. You know what I'm saying? Who moves the crowd?
Yeah.
And I feel like that got lost somewhere in translation because it became more about who got the most money or who got the flyest chain or the best outfit versus like who can really do this.
Okay. Well, with that being said, man, we're gonna jump into the first music break of our show, man, and I'm gonna go to some of your songs, but I'm gonna let you kick it off. So, what song we going to, man?
Let's see, man. Let's go. This everything y'all finna hear outside of one song is unreleased. Because we on the radio, I went with the more vibey songs. So we gonna do this first song is called Wrath with me and my boy SG Batman. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Shout out West. You know what I'm saying? Culture Big C's. You know what's going on.
You already know, and this is the Weekend Takeover with your boy Lero De Niro coming to you live from WindyCityUnderground.com.
Suck my dick. It's just that simple. You know I got money, I can fuck your bitch. It's just that simple. This shit too easy. This shit too simple. It's just that simple. Fall in the club, I got all these dubs on me. It's just that simple. Shoot a nigga right up in his face and give him a permanent dimple. Locked in this game, shit for real. It's just that simple. I got $40 for a bitch and she gon' fuck. It's just that simple. Whoa.
Sliding around and fuck at the time. I'm running the bitch, I'm out. Fucking your gas, she fucking me now. Cause I'm awesome. She wanted a ring, but she not a winner. Little bitch just lost me. Free all the guys, no matter the crime. Blame that shit on poverty. You needed a gang to pop it. I slid with the thing, he dropped it. He played on the net and ended away, but I ain't doing too much talking.
Hey, bitch. It's just that simple. You get in this car, gotta suck my dick. It's just that simple. You know I got money, I can fuck your bitch. It's just that simple. This shit too easy. This shit too simple. It's just that simple.
Imperfect, can't tell by how she look, and that's why I be on it. Can't fall in love with her, but I be tripping up, cause she look good for nothing. That's how I know she good for nothing. All my bitch did me dirty. You can't tell by how I move, cause I can't let it hurt me. I'm too play a dog, that's why I play them all. That's how I play it all, that's why I play with y'all. I'm no savior, no caper, but I still feel like I need you to need me. You can't leave you alone. Know that's wrong. Oh, why? All my bitches so imperfect. Can't tell by how she look, and that's why I be on it. Can't fall in love with her, but I be tripping up. Cause she look good for nothing, that's how I know she good for nothing. Falling in love and having regrets. It ain't about the sex, it's more about the stress. Or more like the stress, it's more like to death. Is your life the worst because we ever met? Or never was meant, forever could guess. You know don't nobody fuck you like me. Even when you with him, you know when I'm that. You say you ain't thinking about me, then why you respond to this text? I'm toxic as toxic can get. And you know if it's one thing that I do the best is play with your head. That's why all my bitches so imperfect. Can't tell by how she look, and that's why I be on it. Can't fall in love with her, but I be tripping up. Cause she look good for nothing, that's how I know she good for nothing. All my bitches so imperfect. Can't tell by how she look, and that's why I be on it. Can't fall in love with her, but I be tripping up. Cause she look good for nothing, that's how I know she good for nothing. Place these problems in the cup better than feeling the pain. Put a finger by my lips, don't want to hear nothing today. I put another on the star, I had to touch it, okay? It's hot, I know, but the world's so cold tonight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going. Deal with my demons and money, the root of all evil, that tree where I find shade. Back when I needed a way to break myself, rob my peace to find my sane. Quit my job so I get paid what I deserve per hour. And not even have to working out. Cause hours, work for hours, been a mogul since Fogo was a place we planned to go. When we got this and now that we got that, realize what it is to have a vision, limited to where your vision is. That's why I keep my head high, eyes facing the infinite, isn't it? Ironic they say stay 10 toes, but I always wonder what it feel like to fly. If they say they didn't, it's a lie. If it wasn't, that's why I had to keep on, keeping on. Cause I gotta keep moving this way. Ain't no way I'm losing this race. Putting every chip on the table. Going all in on being one of the greatest. Problems in the cup better than feeling the pain. Put a finger by my lips, don't want to hear nothing today. I put another on the star, I had to touch it, okay? It's hot, I know, but the world's so cold tonight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going. Might be my happiest during this broke phase. Cause what's the point of all this drive once there's nothing left to chase? Once you walking in the chase and they already know your face. That's a product of the fame, ain't it? Once you fuck the woman that you wanted, waking up the eggs and bacon in the morning from the one that hunts you more than most things in life, but still hesitating to make her wife. Knowing you got more to live, might be a bad bitch before you meet the 6-foot ditch. The complications of everything, having it or not. Hennessy for thought, I ought not, but fuck it, the pot stirring even more. I saw right and found off lights. The dark is only scary when you're in the glow. Less iridescent and more indigo. Indigenous in the woes, the place of being on. And thinking, was it worth it to get everything you said you want? Maybe not. Yeah, I gotta chase these problems in the cup better than feeling the pain. Put a finger by my lips, don't want to hear nothing today. I put another on the star, I had to touch it, okay? It's hot, I know, but the world's so cold tonight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going this straight. Can't keep going this straight. Who would've thought? You ain't end up losing so much on the way to gaining everything. The people, things that matter, the time. Just to give all those things to the same people you losing.
Okay. Now that last song was "Keeping On" by the Kid Ghost. It's from the project or the album A Soliloquy.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that, man.
Um, that was just I was it was just a space and time, a moment that I was fortunate enough to wanna capture. Just me dealing with the process of becoming a parent.
Hmm.
Um, my life changing in so many different ways. Being on the other side of 25. Um, and just how much it had took to get to that point. You know, so many friends passing away. Growing up in Chicago, so many family members who was there at the beginning that weren't there anymore. Opportunities that I had missed, opportunities that I seized. Uh, it was just all a culmination of what those moments kind of felt like. And at that particular time, it was a little bit darker than where it is now because it was kind of hitting me like you're turning 25 or you on the other side of 25 now. You got your baby on the way.
Hmm.
Um, like all of that was just hitting me at one moment where I was just like, man, what have I really done? And then that project was just me reflecting on that.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna have to check out the entire project, but from
For sure.
the tracks that I heard off of there, the "Keeping On," it was another one. Let me see if I can see the name. I think it was St. Patrick, but I'm not sure. I was
For
listening to him
sure.
last night till I fell asleep. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like, man, I gotta definitely tap in,
For sure.
get in the stew. We gotta work. We gotta do something.
Yeah.
Like when music, when like Bob Marley say, when good music hits you, man, you feel no pain. So when it hit, I'll be like, whoa, like
Appreciate it.
yeah.
Appreciate it. For
Um,
sure.
I want to kind of jump into the interview. I was trying to push it out, but I guess we can jump into it right now,
For
man.
sure. For sure.
For those that don't know, this is the Kid Ghost. He's a up and coming artist from Chicago, of course. Not only that's what we can talk about before we get into the interview. So let the people know what all you do outside of music.
Man. Um, I do a little bit of everything. I'm what you would consider a jack of all trades, but fortunately I've mastered quite a few of them. Um, just off spending the time and really delving into it and knowing precisely what I'm here to do and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So it's not necessarily a situation where I'm a jack of all trades, master or none. I mastered the ones I wanted to master, and the
Mm.
rest of them were just skills that I felt were necessary to be the best version of myself.
Okay, I
So,
feel that.
I can do everything from graphic design to engineering my own music, obviously recording it to engineer it, writing, every aspect of the music I deal with except producing. That's just I prefer to give that to people who mastered that. And then outside of that, I do everything myself when it comes to the music. Pretty much design my own clothes most of the time. Um, so with that, I have a multimedia company. Culture, Media Chicago, me and my homies. Just LLC, I believe in 2022 was our first year. Making everything official, putting in that paperwork, and then ever since then, it's just been building the brand and elevating. So we do everything from merch to event curation. If y'all free Saturday night, feel free to pull up to the club where we host their Saturday nights or promote for their Saturday nights.
What club is that?
It's called Post in Roselle, Illinois. Um,
What is
so
that?
it's not too far. It's a west suburb. It's about like 30 minutes from where we are downtown. Um, 672 Urban Park Road. So we're usually there Saturday nights hosting. Vibed Out Saturdays, that's our thing. Culture Presents Vibed Out Saturdays. Stuff like that. So we literally do everything. We're currently in the process of trying to put together a yacht party for Juneteenth. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Fresh on the boat, so just be looking out for that.
What's the date of that?
I believe
June.
Juneteenth is Oh, the actual day, Juneteenth, is the 19th.
No, I'm saying what day you trying to put this yacht
We
party
we
together?
we figuring out those pieces. So just stay tuned to my social media or the brand social media at Culture XX15 on all social media platforms and be able to tap in and just stay tuned. So I'll make sure to give you an update once we have everything finalized and ready to go for sure.
That's definitely got to give me that information for sure.
For sure.
So tell me a little bit about the brand, the culture. What was it?
Culture Media Chicago.
Culture Media Chicago. Yeah.
So Culture was a brand that I was fortunate enough to be brought into, just by happenstance. I was on their show, in the basement was a show that they were running at the time,
Okay.
and then I came on the show, met pretty much everybody who had something to do with the operation, and then we started hanging out on a consistent basis, and eventually they brought me into the fold, just at first as a rapper and an engineer, and then as time moved on and developed, people kind of saw my business acumen and how far I was really able to take an idea and run with it, and then fortunately I got moved up into a position as pretty much the COO, so Chief Operating Officer. So I pretty much keep the operation going, putting everything together, putting together the plans, the plays, and trying to get us to the point of six-figure checks every couple weeks instead of every couple years. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the goal is, and that's what we on.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
We've been talking, off the books. Me and you been having conversations,
Yes, sir.
and I keep saying I gotta come out there and check you boys out. I just been busy, man.
Oh yeah, nah, it be like that.
I just been busy, man. I ain't
sure.
gonna lie. With finishing school, as you know, I just graduated soon. You'll be
Yeah, I graduate
soon.
next month.
It was,
Getting that thinkific out the way.
thinkific and that whole last little block of schooling. Crazy, bro.
Yeah, and you know I'm in DMP, so or digital media production for
Right.
y'all that don't know. That's kind of like an insider,
Right.
school thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, that's what I do anyway. So it's just like now I have little tools and little tricks to expedite the process. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did what I did.
Okay. So with that being said, man, we're gonna take another music break. We're gonna jump into some more Kid Ghost, but we're gonna play what is this, Miss Universe?
Yeah, we could play that.
We
Shout
can
out to my boy Mikey Main, man. Great engineer, one of the best in Chicago, and a great friend. He threw me this beat just chilling in the studio, and then this what we did, all in probably 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, this is Miss Universe by the Kid Ghost. Keep it locked. When we come back, we're gonna jump right into the interview with him.
Holloway, you amazing. Got my heart pumping like this 808. This ain't okay. Never felt this way. This feel like the start of my next heartbreak. Holloway, you amazing. You got my heart pumping like this 808. This ain't okay. I never felt this way. This feel like the start of my next heartbreak. I like my bitch sassy and nasty for sure. I like my bitch classy but throw like a hoe. Can I fuck you right then, leave you alone? Can I fuck you right there in front of a homie? I like freaks, I like geese, I like demons, I like eats. She like me, I'm like cool, here go my IG. I'm a DM champion, Big P, yeah I'm him. Romantic, never been. Take a shot and a pill, got me loose out of there. Took 1, 2, got her there. Grabbed me by my joint and took it right up out of there. Holloway, you amazing. Got my heart pumping like this 808. This ain't okay. Never felt this way. This feel like the start of my next heartbreak. Holloway, you amazing. You got my heart pumping like this 808. This ain't okay. I never felt this way. This feel like the start of my next heartbreak. If you love me, then you love me. If you trust me, you too trusting. Break a heart like it ain't nothing. Break her back just cause it's nothing right. Damn, I can't never move like I love you. Can't let you get too comfortable. I'm here. Don't you know I never miss the next? Might have missed the sex. Might respond to text or some. But when you the one, set the standard for the next to come. Made her do it, now she switching up. Met my match, pull my card, made me slip. Never thought that I'd fall. Here we are, oh my God. This the start. Holloway, you amazing. Got my heart pumping like this 808. This ain't okay. Never felt this way. This feel like the start of my next heartbreak. Holloway, you amazing. You got my heart pumping like this 808. This ain't okay. I never felt this way. This feel like the start of my next heartbreak.
Call me when you done dealing with that fan. You can call that boy your man, oh yeah. Call me when you need a little romance. I just need a break from there, so yeah. Calling me, cause you know that I'm on side. You know that I'm that guy. Call me, you know just what to dial. You know it's that time. Call on me, don't fuck with me. If you gon' sip it, then you drink it all at least. If you want some money, take it out for me. Can't give you no hundreds, hit it's 40 piece. All on me, it's all on me. Fuck it off if you gon' come and talk to me. Nicely, icy. That's the only reason that you check for me. So wrong, how you only call me when the night's all done. Oh, now you catching feelings, wanna make me yours. Damn, you the one that said, let's just keep this one. Yeah, now you calling me just to forget all about him. Call me when you done dealing with that fan. You can call that boy your man, oh yeah. Call me when you need a little romance. I just need a break from there, so yeah. Calling me, cause you know that I'm on side. You know that I'm that guy. Call me, you know just what to dial. You know it's that time. Late night, only time you really ever make time. I'm a boss, you know that mean I make mine. Why you acting like you hate the way I stay granted so you keep that fake smile? You know he can't make it real, he ain't I ain't yours even though we fuck like it. You be tweaking and you know I don't like it. Call on me when you need a friend. It's a little more than a friend. Say all you need is a little romance in the ways that you don't get. Say call on me when you really need to feel good. All you need is to dial up a kid and you know I'ma deliver it to you. Call on me.
Yo, when we are back, that last track that you listened to, that was Call Me by the Kid Ghost. If y'all ain't hip to this man, if y'all ain't never listened to this music, this is a perfect opportunity for you because right now you get a chance to listen to it. Right now you get a chance to check it out. Right now you got a chance to tune in and see what he all about. You know what I mean? You don't get to do that with any artist. You don't get to do that with every artist. So right now you get a chance to tune in, find out who this brother is, listen to the music, tap in before he get to that stage. You feel me?
Sure, definitely en route.
But I was just telling him off this, during the music break that how great his music sound like. I hear a lot of artists. I've been doing music for a long time. Um, I know good music when I hear it. I'm a
Appreciate
fan of music, and everything that I hear, nothing is lacking. Nothing is, out the realm of something I would listen to. Nothing is, how some stuff be, oh, this cold and this mediocre. No, everything, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. Everything is of the same quality and of the same level.
for sure.
Some are higher, but there's a level of
Right. The
expertise.
floor is high.
It's high. You feel me?
For sure.
So I just want to say that to you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Before we get jumped off into this interview real quick, we're gonna do some, just some little questions,
For sure.
and then after these questions, we are gonna jump into what I call a this or that question. So where I do the Apple or PC type thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I just give you some scenarios and let you run through them.
For sure.
But we're gonna do that later on. We're gonna get through these questions first.
Yes, sir.
So everybody knows we are in
Mhm.
Chicago, and if you listen to your music, you could tell you're very artistic. But what drives your passion for music or your artistic passion, bro?
Um, I just don't like being put in a box. I think that's the biggest thing for me. And I feel like music is the easiest way to do that.
Okay.
I like the control and lack thereof that you can have as a recording artist, where you can just wake up and be inspired, and then some days you don't have no inspiration, but you had the want to go to the studio or the need to go to the studio, which is why it's cool having so many hats as far as what I do as an artist, being a songwriter,
So you ain't
being
gotta
a
show up and
performer.
be just one
Right.
thing all the time.
Sometimes I could just go to the studio and mix for 14, 15 hours straight. And sometimes I go to the studio and then I'm, in a space where I want to rap. I don't want to do nothing but rap. I'm not even finna mix none of this. I'm gonna record and then go to the next song and just keep loading the beat, keep loading the beat. So, um, I think just that space of creativity is what keeps me going and what drives me and makes me wake up every day and be like, I love to do this.
Hold on, I don't want to cut you off. But while y'all in here, I got two of the mentors from IMS in the building with me today. They trying to be quiet. They trying to sneak and grab some cameras. We got Jay and we got Mariah. You feel me? Y'all say what's up, everybody. The driest
Super
high I've
dry.
ever heard.
The dry high.
But they just in here grabbing some equipment and then they gonna be leaving out. Y'all bringing it back or y'all about to take it and go home?
I got to put music video this weekend, so.
Dang, is it another camera back there?
There's one more.
Okay, I might have to take that one. But anyway, yeah. Back to the interview. Shout out Mariah and Jay, the mentors from IMS. I will have I'll show my, I'm part of the mentors too. But anyway, so tell me about your background. Any influences or any pivotal points that shape, how you do music and your path to be, on to where you at right now.
I think for me personally, the biggest driving factor when I first started was the bag. Like I just knew I was good enough or would be good enough at this to make a lot of money doing it. And that's what I cared about first. And then
It was a financial thing.
for sure, and the freedom, not only that comes with the finance, but of how to get it. Like I never wanted to work no 9 to 5. I've never been able to keep a 9 to 5 for real. Not from I've always quit. Like I ain't never really ever got fired before.
It just
I
wasn't
quit
it
all
wasn't
the
your
time.
forte.
Yeah, I can't do it. Being controlled by somebody else's rules and regulations of what it takes for me to get $1, and then you trying to tell me how much my time is worth, was also where it was just like nah. And then luckily, what started as a reason to get a bag became passion. And once that passion kicked in and became what it was and what I do, it was just no turning around. And that probably happened within the first like year and a half of me doing this. And I started when I was 15. So to be where I'm at now and have accomplished some of the things that I've accomplished along the route, to just be starting over again, it feels even better than it probably would if I would have been made it where I'm on my way to.
Mm. Okay. Okay. That's definitely it ain't different in a bad way, but it's it's different.
No, for sure.
A lot of people say, "Oh, I wanted to be like such and such and such."
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? You had your own
Yeah,
intrinsic reasons.
for sure. I don't like a day job.
I got it. I get it. I'm the same way. You know, I've had several jobs. Like I was
Yeah.
one of them guys that, I was in the streets and I did what I did, but I always had a job to kind of balance everything
Yeah.
out. And that's what it is for me. I like balancing everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like for what I'm doing over here to either relate to or kind of some way coincide with what I'm doing over
No,
there.
for sure.
If it don't, match up and if it don't mesh well, I feel like I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that'd be my thing. I just like balance.
No, you ain't wrong. Like I've definitely had spurts where that's what's going on, but it's just I've always felt like my 9 to 5 was holding me back.
That too.
So I would rather be out here struggling and having to really cook to get it than knowing that I got a check coming every week or every other week. It give me a level of complacency that just it's automatic because I know like my rent gonna be paid,
Mm.
this my car note gonna be paid
Mm.
because I know that check coming. When I don't have that, I work better and I work harder because I gotta make it happen. And as long as that kind of pressure is on me, that's when I thrive. When I don't got that pressure, then I kind of get like,
Relax a day.
I'm cool because
Yeah.
I've never had a job that didn't pay well. I've always been significantly over, you know what I'm saying, whatever minimum wage was. So
Right.
that was never. I've always had a good job whenever I had one,
right.
but it was just like, nah, you know
Is
what I'm
this
saying?
the job for me type?
You know what I'm saying? Because
I
it was
get
a
you.
job, and that was the problem in the first place. It was a job. I'm not working no job until I'm 60 years old, so I can spend the last 15 years of
You
my
feel
life
me?
enjoying it when I could work hard now and spend 40 years turned up. Like, come on,
And
bro.
you know what? And as black people, and I gotta say this, as black folks, we taught like we are taught that you gotta go and work until you
For sure.
such and such older if you want to see this type of life. And then when you get older, now that well for me, when I got older and I actually seen this, and I'm only 35.
Mhm.
I've been a manager since I was like 27.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Working in management, and with me being young, working in management, I'm having people that's working under me that's twice my age. And then you sit down and have a conversation with them. They've been doing this since they was 13, 7, you know what I
Right.
mean? They've been doing this since 16, 17,
And they
and
doing
they
it just for
still at the same
full retirement benefits.
and they still at the same entry level position that they was when they started. Yeah, they probably got seniority and
Mhm.
they know a lot of stuff about the job and they could come in and work by themselves and do all this different things that make it feel like they got progression within their job, but you are no further than the person that just started this week.
Yep.
That's 3 times less your age.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And it'd be
Yeah.
like how I and I understand how you can get caught up into that. You
Mhm.
get older, you got bills, you get married, you got responsibilities, you got kids and stuff. But how I'm looking at it is, okay, I see all this going on. How do I position myself to not be in that position when I get that age and
Mhm.
I'm in a better position and where I don't have to go and put these hours in.
Yeah.
I could, sit back
For
and,
sure. Yeah.
and kick it off my
Yeah.
income, let my money make money from, stuff like that.
Yeah, the big thing for me was just always realizing like I would rather my daughter look at me and be like, he's somebody that tried and failed than somebody that just did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like looking in her eyes and knowing like at some point she's gonna be old enough to look back and be like, my daddy worked his ass off every day, but you want to hear a lot, but he did everything he could to make sure here could even exist.
Exactly.
And then, or I could work my ass off during this phase where she may not necessarily remember that I wasn't there as much, and then for the rest of her life, I could be there every day. You gonna get sick and tired of me because I'm always at home because the studio upstairs or in the basement. You know what I'm saying? I got the basketball court in the back or whatever the case may be. Like I don't really gotta leave the crib to do anything that I do, and that was just my goal. And that was before I even had my daughter. It was just knowing like when I have my children, that's what I want them to know. as far as a lifestyle, and that's what I want them to aspire to. That's what my parents aspired to. They just unfortunately were never quite in a position to accomplish that. But you know what I'm saying?
We got a question from one of our viewers,
For sure.
from Janaya, the host of Blue Babes. She says, "How do you make music lucrative enough to confidently go about pursuing this as a career over a 9 to 5?"
Um, you got to learn how to do as many things with music as you possibly can. If you're just gonna be a songwriter and an artist, then you should probably figure out how sync licensing work or something of that nature. You know, there's more ways to make it in this industry than just being a being
The talent.
the performer at Coachella and all of that. Like certain people, that's your destiny. That's what you're gonna do, and you have the ability to get yourself in front of the people that'll put you in those places. Some people, those opportunities will never come across your table, but you can create totally different ones and still get Grammys, still get, Emmys, all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I made most of my money as an audio engineer. Um, I learned how to engineer, and then it got to a point where I could charge for it. So I started off charging $15 in the basement of the T-shirt shop where we make all of our culture clothing, and then I made enough money doing that to take us to a storefront. So I got a storefront, opened that up, and then we just kept elevating and getting studio after studio after studio and bringing people on and expanding the business. And that's what made me comfortable enough to be like, I'm not working a 9 to 5. Unless my rule was I would only work a job if it was something that I felt equally passionate about. And so the only job that I actually worked for any considerable amount of time since I made the decision that I wasn't gonna work, I was gonna focus on music. Was I was a youth mentor, and that's something that I'm equally passionate about. Is helping us move forward.
Never would have thought that about you.
For sure.
You're very educated, but I didn't see you as a youth
Yeah,
mentor.
I worked at OPRF, Oak Park River Forest High School, for the better part of the last 10 years, in some way, shape, or form.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's dope. That's
appreciate
dope.
it.
We got a lot in common, not a whole bunch, and it's not for 100% in common.
For
But
sure.
I too worked as an educator,
Mhm.
for elementary school.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like a youth leader, if you will.
For sure.
A lot of the kids I worked with was in the same neighborhood that I lived in.
Mhm.
So I went to school with their parents or their brothers and sisters and things like that. So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and it was the same thing for me. Like little sisters, little brothers, some of my homies, kids is like these are my students.
Exactly.
So it was awesome. It was a privilege.
So did that change how you look at the world, or did that change? Because
Um,
I know for me, like when I first started as a pair, because I was a paraprofessional. I still work as a paraprofessional, by the way. Um, but I started as a paraprofessional. Now, never did I want to be in the education and field and
mhm.
working in education, but working with the kids and getting to know them and just being in their lives and making a difference. Because even though you don't think you're making a difference, those kids are gonna remember you.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So that kind of grew on me. Like, was it the? How was that for you? Like, was it the
Um,
same, or was you already
yeah,
looking for that going in?
I've been doing that kind of work since I was probably like 15, 16 years old. Like all of that kind of happened at the same time. So like rap, or music in general. Um, my I did a lot of community like activism, like literally going out and speaking against wrongs in the areas that I was at, in the areas that needed somebody to talk, but nobody was willing to have that conversation. I had no problem standing in front of the microphone and being like, "Y'all wrong, and you need to fix it." And then as I got older and got the opportunity to work with those students over the course of the years, it was the same thing. So that's what changed for me, was just being like, I don't necessarily have to be the person in front of the microphone all the time. I can instill these things in people that clearly have it and lack the direction of how to utilize it,
Mm.
and then I can just help them learn themselves. And that was the thing for me. I knew myself when I came into high school. I was 13, 14 years old. First day of school, I told every teacher when I went to their class the first day, nice to meet you, my name, and then I let them know I don't do homework. You know what I'm
How
saying?
you gonna tell the teacher, hey, I don't
You
do
feel me?
homework?
I don't do homework. And they're like, what do you mean? How you plan to pass the class? And I'm like, I don't do homework because I come to school for 8 hours of my day. I'm not taking it home. When you get off work, you're done with work. So why am I going to go home and do work? I don't see why you giving me homework. If you got to go home and grade papers, that's your fault. You should have did that during your off time during the school day. Like, you get a lunch break, you get this, you get that, you get lesson plan hours. Like, you should probably do that then. If you go home and do it, that's on you. But I'm not going home and doing this. I'm here all day. And so, and that was that's just how I was. So, and I knew I didn't want to go to college. Like, I had full ride offered to DePaul and all kinds of stuff, and I didn't.
Take it.
Nah, I didn't want to go to college. I knew that was a terrible decision. I was gonna be partying my ass off. I was gonna end up in debt because it's a full ride until you don't meet the requirements, and then they like, you got to pay for our time. So, like, no, I'm not putting myself in that situation. I went to Harold Washington for a semester, dropped out, and then 10 years later, I'm back here. You know what I'm saying? I became a professional in my craft and then went to school for it.
Mm. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I gotta give you a clap for that. I gotta clap it up for you for that, man. Because you don't hear that. You don't hear a lot of people trying to do what you did. You don't hear a lot of artists trying to do what you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta give you your flowers for doing so.
Ah, man, I appreciate it.
Now. And then you're not even on a large scale, platform to where you can reach millions and millions. You're doing this just reaching the hundreds and the thousands.
Yeah, for sure.
So, when you get up there and you can reach the millions and the billions, who knows what you can do?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest goal, the goal that I set, I think I set that goal probably in 4th grade, was I wanted to make 100 black millionaires, because that meant that I made $100 million. And I was always taught from my friends who are in those tax brackets that the hardest part is making your first one. After that, it's easy.
It's easy.
So I figured if I can get 100 people to that first one, now I done built a network of 100, black millionaires. Ain't no telling what we could do. So.
What she say? Janaya she was commenting. She says I ain't go cause they wanted me in a field of mayo. LOL. I do hair. Who hair I'ma do?
Self-awareness is key. Yeah, you are right, Janaya. Know yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Like GLC said, you know what I'm saying? You got to know yourself to supply your wealth. You feel me?
Got to. With that being said, when you just spoke on GLC, he is another Chicago legend, I'm going to say.
Ism.
How does Chicago influence your work? It's a very vibrant city with a rich culture scene. You know what I mean? The city's energy is amazing. The architecture, the people, the history, and all that. How does that impact your artistic expression or your artistic creativity? Or I'm sorry, your creativeness, or you know the word.
Yeah, for sure.
Stumbling right
now. the reality of the situation in Chicago is a place where inspiration is forever flowing. From something as simple as the architecture, where you on the train and you going past and you seeing stuff like right over here, the river walk and just all of the different things where you can pull creativity from, even from the food, where you got places like Jerk Taco Man, where it's just jerk everything, put it in a taco shell, and then
also the diverse different cultures and the
you know what I'm saying.
Life that
you can go to Pilsen and it's like you in a totally different place. You go to Austin, it's a totally different place. Inglewood, totally different. Hyde Park, totally different. You can bounce around. Like I had the privilege of growing up right on the cusp of the west side, so I was on the Oak Park side of Austin, so I got to go to the rich school with all of the benefits of high tax dollars and all of
this. What school did you go to?
OPRF.
Oh.
So it was, I had that privilege, but I grew up in Lincoln Park, or the near North, so I grew up like on North Avenue, Lincoln Park area, so I'm like right around the corner from where Polo G grew up.
Right.
So a lot of the same stories he can tell are the same stories I can tell.
Right, you was in the same area.
And then growing up on Austin, literally across the street is like it get active over here. You know what I'm saying? So those my homies. Then I got the suburb kids, my homies. Then I got the Lincoln Park kids, my homies. Then I love girls from out south because I'm from out west. So the Hyde Park shorties where I'm trying to kick it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all of that, I was fortunate enough to be l- loved and or respected in multiple neighborhoods and multiple communities to the point where I got to really feel what it is to be that melting pot that Chicago is constantly deemed as. I got to feel it in all aspects. So I got to be in the artist spaces and the creative spaces. I got to hang out with painters and models and actresses and teachers and lawyers and millionaires. Like one of my closest friends, multimillionaire, 40-something-year-old white man. I talk to him very consistently. One of my other closest friends and mentors is a 40-something-year-old black dude that got locked up when he was 18, didn't get out till he was 28, started a mentoring program that I was a part of, and we got locked in. And I just talked to him yesterday, and he flourishing, nice crib out the way, you know what I'm saying, doing the right thing. Him and his wife started their own mental health facility or mental health practice to help us, you know what I'm saying? So it was just having those variations in who I could or was around in Chicago inspired me in so many different ways because I got to meet so many different kinds of people and experience so many different kinds of things that I don't feel like I could have got anywhere else but here.
But in Chicago, okay.
For sure.
I feel the same way, man. I feel, just like you said, the upbringing and everything that I experienced while living in Chicago. Now I wasn't in all the nice areas and grew up. I grew up in some real bad areas. I'm from
For sure.
Roseland. I'm from Huntington for Wentworth. You know what I mean? And you know the stories of,
Yeah,
of
for sure.
Roseland and whatnot. Then I went to school. Well, I can't say that. My high school was with the white folks in Midlothian, but it was still the neighborhood I stayed in was still the hood.
Yeah.
You had big houses, but it was still.
It was the same way for me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I stayed on Austin, so it wasn't like I was in Oak Park. I was on Austin, so I done been shot at, robbed, everything. You know
Stuck
what I'm
up.
saying? Everything. And you know what I'm saying? And then, I ain't gonna do too much on the internet, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
You
So,
did what you did.
that's what I'm saying. It's certain areas I'm loved, some areas I'm respected, but I can get it everywhere I go. Pause.
Yeah, no Diddy. No Diddy. So what mediums do you work with and why? And what I mean by that, like whether it's photography or like
Audio engineering. and all
yeah.
that.
Like how do you use all these different mediums for you, from the social media to the
Yeah.
photography to the clothing line? You know what I mean? You got so many things that you work with.
Yeah.
How do you make them all come together and work for what you're doing?
I think I'm blessed to be a person who people gravitate towards and to have realized it early on in my life. So because of that, I I wear whichever hat I feel like wearing. I swap in between the different versions of myself. I like to break myself down into like PJ, Patrick, and Ghost.
Mm.
Um, Anybody that calls, and it's literally like that's just what people call me. Anybody that call me PJ, I know how they know me. You know what I'm saying? They see me a certain way. That's the goofy kid, class clown. You know what I'm saying? Joke all day, never serious, whatever. Patrick, that's who get the respect. You know what I'm saying? That's the dude where I am the business owner. I am the what a lot of people like to call future mogul. I am the visionary, the thinker. That's when that's happening. And then when Ghost, that's when I'm whatever I want to be. That's the character. So that's like like they call Tony Stark like the billionaire playboy philanthropist. You know what I'm saying? I'm three things that don't make sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But all together. So when I switch in between the mediums, it's just literally deciding what I need to be on what day. I could literally over the course of the same day, I'm three different people. Like today, I've been PJ. I'm Ghost right now. I'm gonna be Patrick tonight, and then Ghost again before I close my eyes because we going out tonight. So you know what I'm saying? Like when once ghosts kick in, it's just a totally different person. So depending on who you meet and depending on where I'm at, that's what medium just makes the most sense. So I might be the photographer tonight, and before the end of the night, I'm gonna be the rapper, and before that, I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be the businessman. I got a meeting this weekend, so I got a whole like show pilot that I gotta finish writing because I gotta go pitch it somewhere.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, be tuned in for that too. Like I'm, trying to get on TV. Like,
Hey, we all are.
you know what I'm saying? So I gotta go pitch a show this weekend. So it's just all that type of stuff. Like I can literally be whoever I want any day, and that's what I do it for.
Now I'm gonna piggyback on what you said with the PJ, the Patrick, and Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Now I used to again, we kind of the same people. I do the same thing. You know, I got Lero, I got Larry,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you call me Elmo, you know that's my old rap name. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? If you call me that, like you say, I know you know me as who I used to be, how I used to be, the thug that in the streets used to have my hair braided. You know, always got a little pack on me.
For sure.
You know, so it's the same thing. But I wanted to ask, do you ever get those personalities? Do they
Mixed
ever
up?
get mixed, or do they ever
For
conflict
sure.
each other in ways?
Yeah, because sometimes it's hard when somebody tries to treat you like PJ still in a space where you're Ghost. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like you walking in, and we may not have seen each other in a while, and you're like, oh my God, PJ, like
What's
I didn't
up,
know you could
woo?
rap
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
and woo
yeah.
woo. And then it's like that's where people get to calling you Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not a Hollywood moment. Like you're isolating who I am into this pocket, and that's not who I am right now. This is a character, like, and it's not even a character. This is actually me being me, unhinged. So this is me being an asshole. This is me being caring. This is me being a good person. This is me being a terrible person. This is drug dealer. This is business. This is businessman. This is all of that at once. So when you try to put me into the pocket of goofy kid
You try to
in
keep me
fifth
in
grade,
that box. I would never fit in.
I'm not him no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I got a 2-year-old almost. You know what I'm saying? I'm a parent. I'm a genius. You know what I'm saying? Not the Kanye the whole thing, but like I'm anybody that know me know like it's a good number to have in your phone. If I can't get it done, I can tell you who can. Like I'm, you know. So when you treat me like I'm not him, that's when it's just kind of like that's when it might switch, and then you like, oh, like this ain't who I knew. He's something totally different, and unfortunately, I'm not the same person all day. I don't have the privilege of doing that. I have to turn it off and turn it on depending on the space, and it just is what it is. But that's what we strive towards. You know what I'm saying?
And I can relate to the whole like you say, you know, you could be Ghost right now, but they still viewing you as PJ. You know what I mean? I can relate to that because the whole, because you know me as Lero. You know what I mean? Lero came about during the pandemic. You feel me? Like I've been Lero. You know what I mean? That's been a name of mine. But to actually grow into who he was
and live as Lero, yeah,
that came about 2020. Then when the pandemic hit, I was placed in a whole nother realm of where I had to be in life and what I was going through. So I was doing things different. So I started being more business savvy, you know what I mean, about my business and trying to get things done.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It was to the point where I was doing a lot of traveling and a lot of stuff, and people in the family literally started calling me Hollywood. Like that's Hollywood. That's my cousin Hollywood. But it was even an underlying joke about that because it was like now, oh, that nigga, he think he doing too, and he think he this, and that was the underlying joke that I didn't realize until later on. But I definitely could relate to that.
Even, being at funerals or something like that, and instead of somebody like asking how you feeling about everything, somebody like, man, I heard your new song. Oh man, I seen you was on the radio. Oh man, I seen you did this, and you like,
We had a funeral.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't walking up to ask, is we finna go take shots in the car? Is we finna go take the cuz and walk? Like, that's not what you walked over here for. You walked over to let me know you heard my song, which I appreciate. Don't get me wrong at all. But, like, it's a time and a place. But, unfortunately, those lines get blurred more with the people around you than it ever does with you. Because I know if I'm in, when I go to the promontory tonight, I'm Ghost.
Right.
Ain't no Patrick in here.
I meet
anybody, you know what I'm saying? I meet anybody, I'm Ghost. You really Ghost? What you pal? Like, okay. You can check the stats, man. I was Ghost before Power ever came out. You know what I'm saying?
So you've been calling yourself that video.
But it's one of those things, you know what I'm saying? And like even to now where there are significantly more people that know me as Ghost than even know my name at all. Like I was literally out with the guys kicking it. Somebody pulled up, we on the block, and they was like, Patrick. And I looked, and then everybody on the block got the damn laughing, like, word, I didn't know your name was Patrick. As long as we been homies, I never knew your name was Patrick. And I'm like,
just put you out there.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, she ain't know no better yelling that out the car, but it's like, you know, because she thinking everyone knows I'm Patrick.
Right.
That's what she knows.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's just one of those situations where, like, unfortunately, it's the people around you who can't tell the difference. You know, you got to look in the mirror every day.
They still see you as what you once were. They don't see the growth.
Right. You see me as who you knew, not who I am. So, it's cool, though. It's all love, for sure.
And that should be my last question. Then we're gonna jump into the this and that.
Rapid fire, got you.
So everybody always asks this question. This is probably everybody's last question. Are there any projects that you're working on right now that you wanna shed light on, or
for sure,
give us some something to look forward to, if you will?
Yeah. So currently at this moment in time, I don't want to call it my debut album. I don't want to say like my first studio album or nothing like that, cause I haven't decided if that's what it's gonna be. Shout out to my mama in the comments,
your mom?
man. Yeah, shout out to mama.
Shout out mom.
Love you, mama. Shout out to my pops too. I seen him earlier. We was in the middle of questions, but shout out to pops, man.
Okay.
It's a situation where I'm working on so many things within the same thing that I can't quite call it just this or just that. But what I can tell you is there is a lot of music videos on the way.
Okay.
There is a lot of music on the way.
Okay.
There is a lot of visual things, period. Culture is back. We've been, behind closed doors, putting things together right now and making sure when we relaunch, it's a full-fledged relaunch. Like I said, I got a meeting this weekend to pitch this show to a TV network. Hopefully that goes through. If that goes through, you will see me on your TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a lot going on. I don't want to speak on it before everything is finalized, but what I can tell you is before the end of the year, if you didn't know who I was today, you will for sure. And that's where I gotta, you know what I'm saying, stick it for.
Okay. With that being said, I'm definitely gonna wanna extend, my services. Anything you got?
Oh yeah, you already know.
Send it my way, man.
We locked in. It's one of those.
For sure.
We got some music coming out too.
Oh man,
he sent the beat already.
Say that.
I hopped on it, and then that's we got some work, and then he just played a beat while we was playing music
break. Yeah,
he played a beat, and I can tell you now, expect to hear it on the radio soon. Just know it's one of those for sure.
For sure. So right now, man, we about to get as he call them rapid fire questions. Well, I call them this or that. Right, this or that segment, man. So to kick it off, man, I'm to explain how it goes. If y'all familiar with Drink Champs, y'all know how they do the they give an artist the scenario where it'll be Lil Bow Wow or B2K. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you got to pick one. You ain't got to drink here, though.
Unfortunately, it's a
Unfortunately.
Friday. You know what I'm saying?
I wish we could, but with this
Yeah.
being a school setting, man, we can't do none
Respect
of
the
that.
space.
You got to. So to kick it off, man, I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna start off, with
Let
the
me-
Chi-Town.
Let me
oranges.
catch them real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, turn it back, get ready for these. All right, so first one off top, man. Kanye or Common?
Common.
Why?
This is one of those if you know situations. Don't get me wrong. Kanye, man, major inspiration, but Common is he was the rapper that made me want to rap. As a shorty, Common was just the coolest dude ever to me.
Okay.
It was like pre-Erykah Badu Common too, like before the weird clothes, when he was baggy.
When he was still
clothes,
street.
You know what I'm saying? When he was common sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
He was still Chicago repping.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he is with Chicago repping for sure. But
Yeah.
back then, he was
Definitely.
he was beefing with Ice Cube.
Starter jacket Common, man.
Yeah.
That guy.
Okay. So my next one, I'm gonna go Snowfall or The Wire.
Snowfall.
Why?
Man, Snowfall was inspirational to me. Like, The Wire seemed more of like a warning story. Snowfall was inspirational. And I know that sounds crazy because of how it ended, but I mean, if you look at The Wire, like, it really, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was pretty much the same level. Yeah, Snowfall was inspirational because it was just so many moments where he said something and it connected because that's where my head is. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily as far as like what he was doing to get where he was trying to go, but as far as what he's willing to do to get where he's trying to go and why he's trying to do it. Like, he did it because he ain't like his mama being disrespected. Exactly. Like, that's really where it all started. He got tired of seeing his mama go through what she was going through. He got tired of living like that, and he did anything he could do to change it. And then he changed everybody's life around him.
Everybody's.
And that's where it became like you know what I'm saying? That's how I want to be.
Okay. My next question is more so business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, signed or independent?
Independent. Every time.
Why is that?
I want the control. Can't nobody tell me how to do me better than me. I gotta look in the mirror every day. I gotta put my head on that pillow.
Okay. I'm making them up as we go. D Wade or D Rose?
Come on, man. Okay, so look, this is one of those situations where if you really know me, you know my original nickname was Pooh. So I'm riding, man. I'm riding with D Rose, man. What? Come on, man. D Wade, you cool, but you know what I'm saying? D Rose all day, man.
D Rose. Okay. Now, this is the fashion part of it because I know you got your clothing line and whatnot.
For sure.
Black ones or white ones?
And see, this is where it get crazy. Black ones got a bad rep, but I feel like the things I have done to some black ones was crazy. Like, as far as like putting my own little stamps to it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Swapping the laces out with like the stuff that look like rope. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. It's just me personally. Like, I'm a black ones dude. You know what I'm saying? I am, but I just don't wear them no more because I don't feel like looking like a threat. But before it became a problem, black ones out there.
Before people was looking at them like thug shoes.
You know what I'm saying?
Heathen
like,
shoes.
oh man, he got the black ones on, laced up. He a problem. Like, yeah, nah. But before then, yeah, black all day.
Okay. And only because you mentioned how you like Southside chicks and whatnot like that.
Uncle Remus. If that's where you was finna take.
Nope, that was my next one.
Okay.
But I ain't gotta say that no more. I was gonna say West Side or South Side.
West Side all day.
And you like the women from the South Side though.
I mean, it worked the same way in reverse.
I like all women, but
I mean, I'm just saying, the out south shorties love out west dudes. That's why it's always worked for me. I think outside of the mother of my child, pretty much every other girl that I dealt with on any serious note was realistically probably a Southsider that I took serious. I think the closest, like, pretty much every other one. That's karma.
Yeah. Okay. And since this the topic of the news right now, Kendrick or Drake? Well, all right.
See, that would have been where I had to drink. Cause I play Good Kid, Mad City at least once a month, all the way through front to back, no skips.
That's the one with the purple, the Vino.
When he got the his quote unquote debut. You know what I'm saying? That album, that's like a time capsule for me. But at the same time, so is Views. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of my Let's Just Be Friends are friends I don't have anymore is a crazy way to start. That's the first line of the album. I was locked right there. You know what I'm saying? And then that's another one I play once a month, no skips. So it's just like I can't.
Can't turn from those.
Yeah, I can't pick between the two, man. It's difficult.
Okay. Let me think.
But if Drake and Chris Brown could work it out, I'm sure they'll figure it out. That was a totally different kind of beef. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm gonna do one more because it's getting towards that time. We're gonna have to wrap up. And so the last one, you done took it from me, the Uncle Remus or Harold's. You already answered that.
You brought up South Side, West Side. That's usually the Chicago question. But
yeah.
I'm riding with the family all day. That's my actual family. So you know what I'm saying.
Okay, I got another one then. Since it was just the opening day for the Sox yesterday, Sox or the Cubs?
Now, see, this is where it gets messed up because you would think that living where or being from where I'm from, it would be no hesitation. Cubs, no, White Sox all day.
All day long.
Yes. White Sox. I'm not. No.
My boy Reese Beats, man. That's another producer, man. I'm gonna have to get you in tune with. That's my boy Reese, man.
Oh, he part of we culture.
Oh man, look how small the world is.
Yes, this is a culture link up.
That's my boy. Like
that's who we was in the basement. That's who was cooking them songs up with me. I just left the studio last night.
Wow, look how small the. Hey man, we all gotta come sit down and do something in the studio, man.
It's one of those, man.
Reese, we book us, man. We gonna come through, Reese B. Go.
Man, hey, where we on tonight? We was just in the group chat talking about it. It's on. you just gotta slide.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got the dough code. We can go.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, man, this has been one hell of a show. If I can say, it was a pleasure having you, man. And I hate to kind of end it all abruptly like that, but it is pushing that time, man.
Man.
We got to get up out of here.
The clock is the clock.
Is there anything you want to tell the viewers, the people chiming in?
For sure. Just, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all follow me on social media. On Instagram at the Kid Ghost with an underscore at the end. On Facebook, follow Culture XX15. And that's really where we at with it. You know what I'm saying? Just focus on them two. Everything else is probably me tweaking anyway. You don't want to. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's a little bit more professional. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah.
And be looking for this collab that we got dropping,
man.
Yeah. He will be sending it to me, and I will be putting it out. We got to put the package. We got to promote this the right way.
Well, we in the house. We got the cameras. We got the mentors. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna do something. Video. I told you, it's videos, it's music, it's everything. It's coming, man.
We gonna put something together. We gonna do this the right way. But with that further ado, man, it's your boy Lero De Niro. With me today, I interviewed the one and only the Kid Ghost. If you haven't checked out his music, he's on Apple Music.
All
So
streaming platforms.
all
Man.
streaming
The Kid
platforms.
Ghost with a dollar sign for the S, cause you know the culture get to the money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And just like that, man, we're going to wrap it up, man. This is another rendition of the Weekend Takeover coming to you live from Windy City Underground, your music, your station.
Yes,
Again,
sir.
any artist that's looking to get their music out, put themselves out on that, on the front line and be seen by everybody that you want to see you, reach out to us, man. We'll get you on the show, get you lined up, get you an interview and get your music heard and whatnot. That's what we do here, and if I could say one thing going into the weekend, y'all know it is spring break. Them kids is at home. Please, take care of the kids, man. Take the kids outside. Feed them. Don't leave them locked up, man. It's all type of free stuff to do in Chicago with the museums and whatnot. It's always something to do.
Weather decent.
You feel me? Go
Take
do
a
something
walk.
with your child, man. It's spring break, man. And see y'all next week.